Hello students, I am Sharat Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce. In this session, I'll be explaining the goals, process, benefits and the importance of environmental analysis. So, the strategists should be aware of the resource capabilities and the effective utilization of scarce resources. Environment analysis is to analyze the changing pattern and its impact on business. So, this will help the strategists to form, develop, and give early warnings to prevent the threats or to develop strategies which can turn threats into advantages. So, it clearly indicates the future of the company and the assessment of the anticipated future. So, according to Clifton Gavin, environment analysis is positive trends in the environment breed complacency. That underscores a basic point. In change, there is both opportunity and a challenge. So, the business environment analysis involves the analysis, the diagnosis, and the managerial decisions which are likely to be taken for the betterment of the company. So, there are basically three goals of environmental analysis. So, they are the first goal is environmental analysis must provide the current and potential changes. Environment analysis basically provides the strategic inputs for the strategic decision making, which should be useful to the company while making strategic decisions. The third goal of environmental analysis is to environment analysis is the basic tool and it should make, facilitate, and foster strategic thinking within an organization. So, these are the goals of environmental analysis. Now, let us see the steps or the process of environmental analysis. So, basically, the environmental analysis consists of four sequential steps. The first step in the process of environmental analysis is scanning. So the term scanning means analyzing all parts or components of anything in order to develop some features of that thing. So being the first component of the environmental analysis process, this analyzes the environmental factors of an organization. So the purpose of scanning helps in identifying the possibilities of environmental changes which may affect the working of an organization, and it also helps understanding the present changes in the environment. So scanning is basically non-structured activity. This is because the data in scanning is unlimited, but it is not organized so to and imprecise in nature. So it is difficult to distinguish what data is relevant or what is not. So for the environmental analysis process, it is the basic challenge to extract the relevant data and make best use of it. So uh, this involves scanning. The process of scanning involves general surveillance of all environmental factors and their interactions in order to identify early signals of possible environmental change and to detect environmental change which is already underway. So, this is the first step in the process of environmental analysis. The next step in the process of environmental analysis is to monitor. Monitoring means keeping a constant eye or check on something. Thus, in environmental analysis, monitoring keeps a check on environmental changes from time to time. For example, employees keep on changing, natural resources keep on changing, and the government and their policies also keeps on changing. So, thus, after scanning, it is necessary to keep monitoring what sort of changes the concerned environment is facing and what impact it might cause on the normal functioning of the organization. So, constant monitoring ensures that business persons are aware and make responses towards the possible change in the business environment. So, uh, the process of monitoring frequently involves following signals or indicators unearthed during the environmental scanning. The next step in the process of environmental analysis is to forecast. Strategic decision making requires a future orientation. Scanning and monitoring are the steps on those aspects which have already happened and organization cannot change them. So these are the sunk aspects, that is, which have already taken place in the past and will not change in the future. So, but when an organization is formulating a strategy for its operations, it might require future prospects and future orientation too. So, forecasting is making any predictions about future and is consequently a part of business environment analysis. Forecasting can be done for any business related project or aspect. For example, a forecasting can be made about whether a particular technology will arrive in the market or not. So, what would be the government's new policies regarding tax? Whether customers would change their preferences or would they like the innovation in the products or services, etc. So, these kind of projections or forecasting can be made by the company. Forecasting is concerned with developing plausible projections of the direction, scope, intensity, and the environmental change. So, the last step in the process of environmental analysis is to assess, that is, assessing or the assessment. After scanning, monitoring, and forecasting the business environment, the organization must make proper evaluation or assessment of the collected data in the above mentioned steps. So the organization also needs to analyze what impact it will create on functioning. Assessment will provide answer to some of the questions. What strategy needs to be made for the smooth functioning of the organization? So the assessment will help us to answer this question. It also answers what changes might an organization want to bring in the current strategy. So it helps to understand what alternatives does an organization help in case of negative changes in environment. So assessment will also helps to know how will an organization face the coming changes. So this is these are the four steps involved in the process of environmental analysis. Now let us see some of the benefits of environmental analysis. The benefits of environmental analysis are: the very idea of environmental analysis makes aware of the environmental and organizational linkage. It helps us to know the linkage between the environmental factors and the organizations. It also helps to develop broad strategies and long-term policies of the firm. Environmental analysis helps in development of action plans to deal with technological advancements, which is essential for the survival of the company. It helps to foresee the impact of socio-economic changes at the national and international levels of the firm's stability. It also helps in the analysis of competitor strategies and formulation of effective countermeasures to win the competition. It helps the company to remain dynamic and to adapt to the changes in the environment.